So it actually feels like I'm looking at a ship, possibly. And I'm not on the ship. I don't think I'm teleported to a ship. I think I'm just seeing, it's very metallic-y. And what are you showing me?
Is it a spaceship or like a boat?
I was asking, what are you showing me? And they said, look down. And I can see through the floor and I can see us all camping down below. So it's like, oh. So they're going to be right over top of us. This is
Oh,
crazy.
that's pretty cool.
They're laughing at us because we're all looking out over here, and yet they're right there. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started. They're having some fun with this ESETI thing. I wonder what they're going to do with Mount Shasta too, because it feels like there's something brewing for that too. Yeah. Okay, we are here, and we're very excited. And we know our time this time will be shorter, but we will have a lot of fun interacting with you today. So let's go ahead and get started.
Is this Daniel?
This is Daniel, yes.
Hello, Daniel. Yes, we figure we'll touch base with you to see if there's any messages for the YouTube collective today, if there's any messages you would like to share.
We are very excited to say that we are going into August now, and we've talked so much about August that maybe this would be a good time to recap with everyone that there is a lot of energy coming in for this month. And we know that you are getting out of a very intense time period of change, and maybe a lot of you have felt like the diamond under the pressure of all that coal. It has been as you guys call it on your planet, the Mercury in retrograde, and then you had the lunar eclipse, and you had these other planets in retrograde, which has created a lot of intense situations for many. And so we do say to you that this pressure will start to release, but we do not want you to think that you are on vacation just yet. No. And this has been one heck of a ride of a summer months, as one might say. So you are going to go into August, and you are going to be feeling these frequencies. It is like they are going to take the dial and turn it up. And you're going to be bringing in, as we have spoke of before, the frequency to heal, the frequency to raise yourself up out of the vibration of illness. And many of you have already started doing this. And many of you have done this just listening to these videos as we have talked about it, and raising that vibration up out of illness, out of pain, out of discomfort, and out of fear. And when you can do that, you change your entire world, you change your entire reality, you change the things that get mirrored back to you in your reality. And so it will change your life in quite a miraculous way. But if you are in resistance to raising that vibration out of the fear, out of the pain, out of the illness, then you might find that your pain and illness and fear is being highlighted instead. So you may be feeling more anxiety, rapid heartbeats. You may be feeling yourself going into, what do we want to say? If you are feeling an ailment within your body, like if you have a sore back, or if you are experiencing shoulder pain, whatever it might be, you might find it intensifies. And so what we want you to do is we want you to seek out whatever medical help makes you comfortable. And then we also want you to sit with, why is this happening? Why is there pain here? Or why is there pain in the back? Or why is there this illness that is surfacing for me? And we want you to talk to the symptom. We want you to ask it, why are you here? And sit quietly to get your answers. And you may find that it starts coming up in your reminiscing. And so what we want to say to you is, as you're sitting there saying, okay, why am I going through this feeling? Why am I going through this heartache? Why am I going through this depression? And then you might think that you are drifting off instead of focusing and getting the answer. But pay attention to what you are drifting off to. Maybe you're drifting off to a time in the past where a relationship didn't work out and it made you sad and da-da-da, and you find yourself thinking about it. And then you go, oh, my crazy mind, it keeps wandering. No, no, no. That is where you are supposed to go. That is your clue. And so we want you to pay attention to where your mind is wandering, because your mind is wandering to help you. It is wandering into the past to help you collect the information you need to rise yourself up out of pain and rise yourself up out of the fear and to create the healthy body. And one of the things that can help you, for those of you who are very excited about starting this journey of August, we want you to remember that one of the quickest ways to move yourself out of fear is to bring in the love frequency. Bring in the love frequency that raises you up, and it raises you into a beautiful place. So even if there is somebody you are thinking about that has caused you frustration in the past, we want you to think about ways to love that person, ways to step up into yourself and look at things with a different set of eyes. Maybe something didn't work out for you. Maybe you got laid off or let go or fired or whatever it is. And maybe a relationship broke up, and maybe these things are happening. And instead of being so hurt and wounded by the event that took place, we want you to look at that like, okay, I am being lined up to step into something better. And I love this person for being that person in my life to push me in this direction, even though I do not know what this is yet. I love them for being that catalyst for me. I love them for being that stick that kept poking me in the side to get me to make a move in a direction that was more positive for me. Instead of thinking of them as the so-and-so who did this or so-and-so who did that. They're doing that for a reason. They are that annoyance for a reason. And they are the heartbreaker for a reason. They are pushing you into a new direction, and you are pushing them into a new direction. And it is quite mutual, and it is quite orchestrated. And so, as hard as that may be to hear for some of you, we do want you to sit with it and sit with what is going on for you. Allow the pain to be there, the hurt to be there, the tears to be there, the anger to be there, and just be with that and recognize it and love the fact that you are such a vast being, that you have the ability to feel the pain and the hurt and the sadness and the joy and the giggles and the laughter. You can do it all. And when you can do it all like that, then you can also raise up above it, and you can release it, and you can move into something more wonderful than you have ever imagined. As your body heals, your mind heals, everything about you heals, and you step into that love frequency, and you are able to now look at the world with a new set of eyes. Even the tragedies of the world, even the hardships and the burdens and the mistreated moments of the world, the downfalls of the planet, you can look at that and you can call in the healing around that, and just love that the healing is available for all of that to happen, for all of it to be healed and lifted. And just find yourself moving into a place of thinking and vibrationally connecting with healing, and see where that takes you. And we just want you to play with it. It may take you a little while of back and forth and finding yourself in it for a moment, then drifting off and doing other things and spacing it out and coming back and doing it again. It is a practice, and you will start to learn that you can hold that frequency and feel healthy and strong and vibrant and alive most of the time. And then you'll feel healthy and strong and vibrant and alive all of the time. It is coming for you. And so that is what we want to say about the upcoming month of August. We want you to just be with this beautiful wave of energy that is here for you to help you evolve and to step out of resistance and allow for the evolving to happen. That is a message we have for you.
It's a very good message, and I think you answered my questions as I was writing them down almost. So, but just to be clear, is there any, if there's anyone that's watching this video that's like just having a hard time raising their vibrations to set that intention for healing, do you have any advice or tips for those kind of individuals that just just feel like they're having a hard time to connect and to raise their vibrations for healing?
We want to say to you to connect where you're at. And so we say, okay, we are depressed. I'm depressed. I don't feel good. This is really heavy. Life kind of sucks. I want to be up here. But we say to you, you have to love where you are. Love where you're at. And I know that sounds impossible when you are feeling depressed and you're feeling down and you're feeling like the world is working against you and you're stuck between the grinding stones and nothing is working. But we say to you, love the fact that you are so strong that you can handle where you're at. Love the fact that you are so amazing, that you are such a gift to the planet, that you can love what is going on in your life right now. And you can love how strong you are, that you can handle that. And then our hope for you is that the next day you get more things in a more higher vibration to love. As these other things fall away, as you appreciate them for showing up in your life. You appreciate them for showing you things about yourself that you didn't know. Maybe they're expressions of your shadow side, and you embrace your shadow side instead of rejecting it. And we say to everyone, the shadow stuff is not new, but maybe you might be new to it. And so we say to you, when your shadow is coming up, when there are things about yourself that you don't like, or something that happened in your life that you don't look fondly back on, like you didn't mean for it to be this way, and now you feel like you wish you could have done it different and all of that, we want you to love that part. See, even the dogs want you to love that part. and just love the fact that maybe sometimes you get angry when you're hurt. Love the fact that sometimes you say things because you're so passionate about it, but it comes out wrong. And love yourself enough to know that maybe sometimes you act out of hurt in a negative way. And in doing so, you have hurt other people. And so you love the fact that now you recognize that, and that you can say that you are sorry. And maybe you could say one of the prayers that are out there for you. The Ho'oponopono prayer, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, is a beautiful prayer. You say it to yourself, you say it to the ones that you have wronged or that you feel you have wronged, and you just say it in your mind and you imagine sending it to them in a frequency, and you just heal it on those levels. And you've got to start where you are at. And so to raise your vibration, you have to start where you are at. And we are feeling that some people feel pretty low right now. And so we ask for you to practice this and to just say, I am sorry to all of those I have wronged, and please forgive me as well. And you offer that into Source. And say it every day. Whether you do the prayer or you do your own prayer, ask for forgiveness. You are not a victim. Nothing is happening to you. Nobody is doing anything to you. Everyone out there that is in your life that is doing you wrong is there to show you something. Pay attention. What are they showing you? Is it something from a past? If it's nothing you can identify with, ask if it is a past life. Can I please be released from it? Can this contract be complete? And I call it in as healed and released, and see it going into the light. You do not need to know what the past life is. You just release it. And you just allow for the forgiveness to come in, and you ask for forgiveness for all involved as well. Because the fastest way to raise your vibration is to release everyone else from any karmic chains that you have tied to them as well. Does that make sense, the karmic chain?
Yes, to me it does. If you have any type of karma that you need to work out that you acquire, correct?
Yes, and so you are releasing yourself and others from this karma, and it is such a blessing to do that instead of holding on to it as if by holding on to it you are punishing them by any means for whatever wrong they have done to you, which in fact is not happening. And so we ask you to just release it and let it be resolved by spirit. Maybe that came into your life to serve you, and maybe they were just playing a role in your life to help bring that lesson into your life. And we know there's some of you out there thinking of particular situations where you have a hard time putting that puzzle piece together. And if it doesn't resonate for you, then you do not have to take it. We just call in that you find your way to heal it, because healing is so important at this time, to bring in that emotional healing, the spiritual healing, and the physical healing, and raise that frequency. So many good things coming, so many good things coming for everyone on the planet, but we have to get through. We have to get through the planet shadow. We have to get through the people shadow. And everyone is doing what they can to do that. There are so many on this planet that are working hard to move past all this unnecessary energy and let it go. It doesn't serve you anymore. And you may be finding it is easier to let it go, where you maybe hung on to it for a long time in the past. Now it's like you review it, you look at it, you say, yep, that happened, and now let's let it go. Let's move forward. What else? What do we got next? Where do we go from here? And it is getting to be that simple for you. And that is what we want to have for you, is to have it be simple, to say, yep, that happened, and now I'm going to move forward. And I call this healed. This thing from the past is now healed. And just offer it into source energy and take the lesson that you can and move forward. And what else could we add to that for you? Is there any other questions?
No, but it sounds like the best way to go about doing it, from what it sounds like, is forgive that person if there's any grudges or hurt, and forgive, let go, and move on, from what it sounds like.
The most important person to forgive is yourself. When you forgive yourself, all others are forgiven. They no longer have to mirror your guilt, your shame, your resentments, your anger, whatever it is that you are holding on to. When you can forgive yourself, then you easily extend that forgiveness out to others, and nobody has to mirror you anymore. It just removes that trauma from your life. And so that is very important. Forgive self and then offer it out to others.
As odd as this sounds, but how does someone forgive themselves? Is there any tips or advice on that, on how to forgive yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yes. That is a very good question, because it sounds so simple. Yes. Oh,
Yes.
Forgive myself. Yes, of course. There are different ways to help you forgive yourself. If you are in a situation where you know that you have done something wrong and the other person is not talking to you, let's just use that as an example. Like we said, you can go into the Ho'oponopono prayer. It's very effective because you direct it at yourself. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And you're directing it at yourself. And then you can turn the prayer and direct it to the one that you are apologizing to. There are other ways to do this. Some of you may know of the technique of the emotional freedom technique, where you tap the pressure points around your body. And if not, then there are YouTube videos on that as well. And it is EFT, or emotional freedom technique. And you will go through and you do different tapping on your hand, your face, and it releases emotional baggage that is no longer needed. And it is very effective. Many, many, many people use that. That is one way to help you move through the emotions of feeling the guilt and the hardship and the anger and the sadness and the hurt and some of you even have rage that is building up like a volcano. Just move through it and just move through that technique. And are you familiar with that technique, Jason?
That is new news to me.
Let us go through it once with the audience. And what we say to you is you would do this 3 times on the hand. And so we're going to do it once because we don't want to make a really long video of this. But let's say you're angry. A lot of people out there are angry. So just do this with me as you're watching. You tap the side of your hand and you say, even though I'm angry, I fully and completely love and accept myself. And you might want to watch this a couple of times to get the wording. Do it three times. You say that, even though I am angry, I fully and completely love and accept myself. Then you'll go up here to the eyebrow, the inside of the eyebrow, and you tap 5 to 7 times and you say angry. Then you go to the outside of the eye and you tap there and you say angry. And then you come down under the eye and you tap there 5 to 7 times and you say angry. And under the nose, angry. And then the chin, angry. And then the collarbone, angry. And then right under the arm, you tap again and say angry. And then a nice deep breath, and you release. And there are several ways to know it is working. You might start giggling, you might start yawning, you might start burping. Any form of release that your body may do, giggling, sneezing, it is showing you that you are releasing it. But as you do this technique, you'll notice that your body shifts. And so, okay, maybe we tapped through anger and it went from, on a scale of 1 to 10, anger went down to a 5 after the first round. Do another round. And then you see, oh, anger feels better, but now I've got a ringing in my ear. That wasn't there before. And then you go around, even though I have a ringing in my ear, I fully and completely love and accept myself. Do that 3 times. Ringing, 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 all the way down. Now the ringing's gone, but now I feel really sad. Now I got this really sad feeling. Oh, okay. Even though, so you see what we're saying. It's almost like you're peeling layers. So we want you to follow what's happening with your body. There could be a physical symptom show up, or there could be an emotional symptom show up. And then you just go into that symptom. If you have a list of things that you're feeling already, like, oh, I'm going to try this, but I've been feeling angry, sad, hurt, betrayed, write it all down and tap through each one of those. And if you are doing this, we would love to know on the comments below if you are feeling the relief of doing this tapping, because it is a glorious way to move the emotions out and then bring in the forgiveness. And that is a wonderful way to work. Now, some of you may benefit from doing self-forgiveness through energy work. You have friends or somebody you know that does Reiki or any of these other energy modalities, and you go to them and you ask them for help in moving this energy, and that can be a way to help move the energy off of you and cut cords. Cutting cords is another way to release yourself from energy, and just ask for the healing to go in all directions, depending on who it is that you are cutting those with. Well, not depending. Sometimes you are sending it to a past life. Sometimes you are sending it to a person. That's what we mean. And then send it to yourself as well, and just fill that space in with love and light. And always fill your space in with love and light after releasing. There are many, many ways to go into self-forgiveness, but you can also just go straight up to the person that you have done wrong, and you can ask for their forgiveness, or you can send them a message and ask for their forgiveness, and you can own the part that you did. Have you ever had anyone not move into forgiveness when you own the part that you did? When you come into it and you say, I realize I did this and I want to apologize for that, and you recognize to them that you did something that was hurtful or wrong. And we bet that they will move into forgiveness for you.
Yes.
So there are many ways to do that, yes.
That is true.
Yes. It may be the most difficult one, because it is hard to bring yourself into that space of, well, we want to use the word confession, but bring yourself to the place of offering that truth and owning your part. But it is a very powerful way to get forgiveness, as it is, everyone knows it is hard to do it. And when somebody is genuine about their apology, it is most often received very well and creates healing.
I do have to say, it does feel a lot better confronting that person and asking for forgiveness or apologizing. It does feel a lot better afterwards.
Very true. That was a good question. Thank you.
Thank you. You mentioned planet shadow or shadow planet, one of the two, or shadow people as well. And I just wanted to know if you had any more information of what that was. Does that mean that the planet is moving through a shadow? Is that what that was?
Everybody is here on this 3D realm with the duality. So you got the yin and the yang, you got the light and the dark.
Okay.
Yes. And so there are shadows among, like, maybe what one might think a shadow of the planet might be is when maybe the weather gets dark and angry, or the earth shifting and creating earthquakes or tornadoes or whatever, that might be what one would say is an earth shadow, where there is things that happen on the earth that are hardships, or grumpy earth. But the earth has its moments as well. It goes through these phases, and it goes through its seasons, and it goes through all of it just like we do. And so I just called it the earth shadow. We do not know if that is an official term or not anywhere, but that is just what we say. The earth is moving through its evolution as well as you are, and it is making its shifts and its changes as well. And so that is what we are referring to as shadows. So the earthquakes, the volcano eruptions, the crazy weather, that might be considered the earth shifting and moving out of its shadow and just clearing the energy around it. Duality within the human, your angry side, your secrets, your the thoughts that you don't want anyone else to know about, those things that you keep in the back closet, that is your shadow. And so just embracing the fact that you have this shadow side, or that you can get jealous or angry or sad or whatever it might be, that you don't want somebody else to know that this is how you feel, or this is a behavior you have. Just be okay with who you are. It's okay to be angry. We do not know that as a humankind. Humankind does not know it is okay to be angry. It is something to be embarrassed and ashamed of. But yet, and then it builds up and it comes out in this horrible way of possibly becoming violence or becoming abusive, and rather verbally or physically. And what we say to you is, if you would have addressed the very first thing that made you angry, it would have been this little piece of anger that you said, oh my gosh, that really hurts when that person says that or does things like that. Or, I really get jealous when this person I care about is paying attention to somebody else, or, whatever the scenario might be. And you own it in that moment when it's little. And you give that feeling a moment, and you look at it and you think to yourself, why am I feeling this way? Am I insecure? Am I having a hard time because of something that happened in the past? Do I not feel worthy? What is it? And then you take care of it when it's little. But instead it builds up like a volcano, and it becomes this eruption, and then it's this shameful thing that happens. And so if only everyone would have been taught at the earlier years how to look at their hurts and pains when it was first happening, and when it was in the moment that it was happening, and be able to learn how to process that and sit with it and learn, why is this triggering me? Why is this making me feel this way? Then you could honor that shadow. You can honor that hurt and that pain and that jealousy, or that burden, or whatever it is, instead of letting it build up into this thing that can no longer be contained, and then it becomes this big thing versus a little thing that could have been healed quickly. Does that help for the shadows?
Yes, that's a great answer. Next question would be, you mentioned the ringing in the ears, and I wanted to know, especially if someone's watching this video that doesn't know what the ringing in the ears is. I know it means something special, but for the viewers that's watching this video, what does the ringing in the ears stand for or mean?
For many, the ringing of the ears is a signal to you that you are receiving a download or a activation of some type from higher frequencies, and you are hearing the pitch of the higher frequencies as they come into your auric field and into your energetic grid of your own personal space. As you are getting the downloads, you'll hear the pitches. And for some, it will come in one ear or then the other, and for some it comes in both at the same time. We're going to ask for them to activate the listeners right now, and some of you will get this activation and some of you will not, but you may start to feel the ringing in the ear come in, and we just want you to stay still for just a moment, and we'll quit talking for just a moment, and we want you to really focus on the ears and see if you can hear the ringing. We had ours come in on the right side, and it was very faint, but it was there. And so when you are done with this video, if you want to play with that, just be very focused on the ears and try to find a very quiet place so that you can hear the faintness of the ringing or the frequency. Now, when you are getting a large download, you will not have to even think about it. It will be right there in the ear. And we all have heard that. We all know what that is like. And you are just being sent the upgraded version of a frequency that is coming in for you, that resonates for you. And so that is a good question. And if it is too loud for you or it is happening often, just ask if they can turn it down so that it is not so distracting.
That's good advice. Does it matter? Does it make a difference if it's the right ear or the left ear? Does that matter?
It does not matter. Oh, and we want to say to you, when you are doing your tapping, it does not matter if you are on the right side or the left side. That was something that was coming in as we were doing it, to address that it does not matter if you are tapping from the left hand or the right hand as well. So it does not matter if it is left or right. It does not mean anything different. It is all good. It is all the same. You are being upgraded and you're getting attunements. It is a good thing.
All right. And I think you might have answered this already, but what does the downloads are for? The ringing in the ears is for downloads, but what is the downloads for?
The downloads could be that something has shifted in the reality. And you know how you have many different realities, different timelines. We have spoke of these before.
Yes.
So let's say that you made a big decision, or an event happened in life and that put you on this timeline over here and these other three fall away. So then you get the download or the frequency that gives you the information for that timeline. That is one of the reasons you will get a download. Some of them are health-free vibrational downloads to help you be in a better place, health-wise, with the physical body and the mental body. Some of the downloads that come in are just information downloads, where you might be activated and remembering something that it is time for you to remember. You have set it up in your timeline on your life path to be activated at a certain time to remember certain things. And the best part about that is you will not even know that you didn't remember that the moment before. Now all of a sudden it is a memory that you are very familiar with, so it does not even feel new to you. But all of a sudden you will have information. And it is, there are many different things that they may be downloading to you. Some get transmitted information on a more intuitive level, where all of a sudden now they have this urge to be in a certain place at a certain time, or to make contact with a certain person, and they did not, it would be like an intuitive impulse to do this. And that has probably come in through one of those downloads and activated that urge or that impulse to happen so that you would make that action. And so many, many reasons why downloads might come in. A lot of lost memories come back, get activated back in. Skills that you were wanting to recover in this lifetime may be activated. And I'm sure if you could find a reason, we could confirm, yes, that would be another reason to be activated. So it is endless.
The reason why I asked that question with the ringing in the ears, because earlier you mentioned ringing in the ears earlier, and then sure enough, probably like 5 minutes later, my right ear was ringing.
Yes. We had a session earlier where we were doing a scan on the client, and this is another reason, and we're glad that you brought that up, because it reminded us of this. There was an energetic implant, so to speak, an energetic interference that was going on around the person's right ear, and we brought in the 12th dimensional beings to come in and work on that particular area. And as they were working on clearing the energy around the right ear, we went and moved on to follow the flow of energy through the rest of the body. And the client did confirm that as soon as they started working on the ear, the ringing started. And as soon as he could feel that be complete, the ringing stopped. And so that is another thing that could be happening, is they could be working with the frequencies of your auditory receptive abilities and maybe removing some energy that is blocking or creating interference with your messages.
Sounds good. Yeah, usually it's my left ear.
Ah,
Usually.
we'll see what happens now with your right side. Maybe you'll receive more messages.
Maybe. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to share? I think we did pretty good today. Is there anything else you feel that needs to be talked about?
We would like to scan the audience just briefly here. And again, for those that are new to watching this, we can still connect with you even though you have not seen it in the moment that we're recording. And we're just going to reach out and connect to you and see if there's any messages that need to go out to the audience. There is a lot of throat chakras, again, needing to speak your truth, needing to find your truth. Heart chakra, needing to find your truth. And we thank you for coming to this video and that you've been watching and you have not moved on. You are watching and bringing it to completion with us. Everyone is continuing to watch these videos. It is making a connection more on a collective, and the ones who are resonating with these videos are finding each other on the energetic grid, and we do see that some of these people will be coming together. There is a message, I believe, for the Palladian group that is watching. So if this message resonates with you, then you are part of the Palladian group, or you are connected to the Palladians. Now, we want to say to you that does not mean you are not connected to other groups. It just means that you are also connected to this group. So if you did not know that you were connected to them, to more than one, we want to let you know that yes, there's usually multiple groups that you can connect with. And it is time to step forward and wake up your third eye. If it is not already activated, please invite in the activation to the third eye. They want you to work on also your power chakra. It is important for you to be in your power right now and to be, what do we want to say? We want you to be solid in your belief system, and we want you to stand your ground with people when they want to sway you or tell you that this is not the way to go, or this is bad, or whatever it is. We want you to follow your heart. We want you to bring in the energy that is right for you, that resonates with you. And do not let other people's fear get in your way. Do not let other people's fear sway you, because their fears is the thing that you are learning how to overcome right now. Other people's fear. Other people will project their fear onto you, and you need to be strong enough to say, no, this feels right to me, and I'm moving forward with this because this feels good and I resonate with it. And so if this message is resonating with you, please know that you have help, and call on your Palladian brothers and sisters to come in and help you to have the strength and the courage to stand your ground and to stand firm with your belief system and what feels right for you. Only you will know that answer. And so we want you to stand very strong with this. And we do believe that the majority of people listening to this today, or to this video, will resonate with this message, that it is important to use your words to support how you feel. It does not mean that you have to march around with a flag that says, I believe in ETs, and no, we are not saying that. We are just saying, if whatever feels right to you, whatever resonates with you, do not let someone else sway you with what they have heard, whatever resonates with them. If it is not right for you, it is not right for you. There are many different groups, and there are many different levels to resonate, and not one of them is wrong. And it is okay. Let them be where they are, and you be where you are. And that is part of what we are learning as humans right now, is that we don't have to conform. not everyone has to be the same, and it is your individuality that makes it special. And so if you believe this way and this person over here believes this way, you can still be friends. We tell you that you can still be friends, and you just allow yourselves to have your own experiences and enjoy it with each other. And so that is our message to you as we bring this to a close, that everyone just go out and be your authentic true self and follow your heart.
Very good. That was a great response. Do you happen to know what group I am part of by any chance?
You're part of the very, very little people. No, we are just kidding. We're not part of the little people. What do we see with you, Jason?
If it's too difficult, I understand.
Difficult. Well, you wouldn't be here with us if you were not part of the Arcturian group. You do have connections with Arcturians. You do have Palladian. We do see you. At this point, what we want to say to you is that you are very connected to very many. The ones that you work the strongest with at this time might be the Palladian group and the Syrian group. But you are connected to many different groups within the groups, if that makes sense. And so you are not limited to, just like over here, Tracie brings in Daniel and the Imperials. Yeah, I think that is funny how to say that, but they are all an Arcturian group, and then they will channel. That is who is channeling now. We are a group of beings that she refers to as the Imperial group, and we are Arcturians. But we also bring in the Mantis. We bring in the Palladians. We bring in the we bring in the ant people. They're saying hello. We bring in the Orion, the Syrians. We bring in all of these beings that come to speak, to take turns, to talk to their people. And we all work together, even though we are, so to speak, individual councils. We are all also working together to reach humanity and to bring in, if they can get their people to our people, we channel through their message to them. And you do the same by honoring the system of making these videos and bringing in the messages. You are connecting with your groups, and you are helping hold the space and hold the energy to bring these in. And you are allowing for them to bring in questions that maybe you do not realize. You are intuitively bringing those questions in through your councils as they are trying to find the answers for their people that are listening. And so we want to say you are very connected to many groups, and not to be shy. Talk to them all and let them move and talk to you and whisper things into your right ear as it is now open to them. Yes.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the messages.
Well. Yes. And are we complete today?
Yes, we are complete, and this gives me some more questions for the next session.
Beautiful. We'll see you then, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
And bye to all of you who are listening, and thank you for being here. Okay, well, that was fun. I was seeing when they were talking about all the ones that you're connected to, it was almost like, if you see someone holding on strings with helium balloons. Like you had all these little strings going to all these different collectives, and definitely very connected to all of them. So just keep inviting that in and let them chat it up with you. But yeah,
might explain some of the questions that come through.
yeah, looked like they were all. That was interesting to see when they said that they're all trying to find, like, what's their group need to know, what kind of questions might need to be answered, and then they feed you those questions. So that's kind of cool.
Makes sense. The thought has crossed my mind.
There you go. Validation. So good.
I was like, perfect. What if, just what if this was happening? So
you guys all think I'm the only one channeling, but look at that. He's channeling too. Channel in the questions. Sometimes
I like it when I write down a question and then they already answered it.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Yeah, when you say that, it's like, I love how that happens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mine-
So I find that pretty cool, pretty neat.
Yeah, that's good.
So were you able to see anything with the vibrations of healings or anything like that? Or when you was in the UFO looking down?
Oh, that part was weird. Yeah, I was I was like, why am I in this UFO? And at first I was just kind of thinking, I feel like I'm somewhere, but it's all dark and nothing else was coming in. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm in a ship. Okay. And then once I had that aha moment, then I could kind of see the metallic-y feel of the ship. It was more like a feeling, not a tangible, but more like a frequency or an energy. And then as I looked down, then yeah, I could see us all camping over our little ESETI weekend in our little group. And they're going to be right over top of us. So we're going to have to pay attention. But I
Just look
think there's,
straight up.
yeah, exactly. But just as we could see straight through, I could see straight through down. We're not going to see the ship. So we're just going to have to really pay attention to how we're feeling. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to go there doing this channeling now, because when I went there 2 years ago, I didn't do this. So
Right.
it makes
It's
me
going to be
wonder if it'll
different experience.
yeah, maybe the same, and maybe I'll be like, huh, okay. But
Geez.
yeah, but if maybe it will be different. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
but it was pretty cool with the ringing in the ears and forgiveness, because it's going to be important for a lot of people. Forgive yourself.
Yeah. And sometimes we don't even realize the simple things we need to forgive ourselves for. Maybe we need to forgive ourselves for letting somebody treat us badly. And it's like, who thinks to do that? It's like you're thinking, oh, that person treated me badly, and you're putting it outside of yourself. But what happens when you forgive yourself for letting that happen? And then look at the mirror to that. Why did that show up for me? Why am I experiencing that? And it could be a worthiness thing. You believe you deserve better, So that's a good message. It's just, each person's going to know how to apply that for themselves and bring in that forgiveness. But I was understanding where they were saying forgive yourself first, and then everything around you can quit mirroring that. And it's true. If you're feeling guilty about something, or shame about something, or upset about something, then the things that are happening outside of you are going to give you more reasons to feel angry or upset or whatever. And so people are going to have to mirror that back. And it doesn't matter what relationship you're in or how tight it was. If your frequency is activating, I need to heal this, then whoever's coming in your field is going to be saying something, doing something that's going to trigger that for you, whether they know they're doing it or not. And so instead of blaming that person for saying something insensitive, go look at why did I react like that? And figuring that out so that you can clear that energy, and then you'll find that whatever they said doesn't matter anymore, it doesn't hurt anymore, and you just move past it. And so, if you lashed out at them, then maybe you got to go apologize, but then that creates healing for them too, because they wouldn't be in that experience if they didn't need that trigger from you. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting stuff.
Triggering is just this absolute crazy way to look at the world. But when you start looking at things in that perspective of why is this happening for me instead of to me, then you can start healing that, and then things just,
it's like looking at it from a different angle.
Yeah. So very much.
Yeah. Was there anything else on your side?
I get to that point where I forget everything that we said and did.
I know that's some of the reasons why I bring it up.
Yeah.
Refresh.
Yeah, watch me. What did they talk about? It seemed like there was a lot of heart energy going on again. but that was probably around the forgiveness stuff. It was, I always love it at the end when they scan the audience, because I feel like I can see.
That is pretty neat.
I can just see all of these shadows of people. I don't see faces necessarily, but I can see all these shadows of people. And this time what happened was they were showing, or I'm seeing the shadows of people, and then there was a large number of them that started to show up like a light was being shown on them. And then what I was seeing is, and I don't even know what the Palladian emblem thing looks like, but like the Palladian blue uniform type thing, I was seeing that being placed over top of each one of them, and recognizing them as working with Palladian groups. So that was kind of cool to see. That's how that was showing up for me when they were looking at it.
That was pretty neat.
Yeah. It feels like a large number of that group will be listening to this. So hello to all the Palladians.
What's
the
up?
Octurians, say hi. But yeah, there's, I mean, that message was good for everybody, but that seemed to be where they were directing it. So there must be something going on with the Palladian energy that's bringing that forward. But yeah, other than that, I think most of the descriptions were being brought out for everybody. I always love it when the light language comes in, because I used to never be able, I say I'm not the one translating it, but they used to never translate that for me. And now they translate it. And one of the things I've noticed in some of the sessions, when the person speaks light language back, I've had a couple now where there's a light language conversation that goes on, and I actually know what they're saying. So that's been new for me. So I must have gotten an upgrade in that, where I can actually tell them later what the conversation was about. Or during it, the Octurians will probably break it down and tell them what's being transferred back and forth with the conversation. But yeah, so
cool.
So that's kind of new and cool. Lots of people, for all the listeners out there that have been calling me from around the world, thank you. This has been such an amazing experience to work with everybody and have these experiences. If you are international and you go to my website, the app that I use to book appointments does not take the international phone number. And so if you make up a US phone number, you could still book online. But if not, just send me an email and we'll do it that way. I'll get you on the calendar. We'll figure out the time frame, the time zone difference, and I think Australia is one of the trickier ones because they're in tomorrow. So, but it's all doable. We'll get it figured out and do a session.
Absolutely. If there's a will, there's a way.
I have to say, I've even done 2 now with translators, and there's still some good success with that. So
pretty good. That's good.
It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
And many more to come.
I hope so, because it's exciting to bring people into this place and this energy. So
absolutely. Well, we're going to wrap it up and session down in the books.
Yay. Thanks everyone for being here. Thank you, Jason.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.